Welcome to the Daily Devo. My name is Grant, and today we are talking about wise living. I love sports. I love the beauty and the pageantry of it. I love the drama. I love the chase of breaking records. I like watching underdogs take down those power conferences and power teams. I love watching the chess match that his coach is trying to figure out how to leverage the gifts, talents, and abilities of their players to compete with one another. I love all of it. I have players that I will never root for, but I'll pretend to be happy for. And I have teams that I honestly wish could get relegated, and we did that in American sports. I love all of it and the drama that's associated with it. But one thing that I've figured out for me, and maybe you figured this out too, is you can have the best player ever on your team. You can have the Jordans or the LeBrons. You can have the Serena Williams if it's like a doubles match. You can have Tiger on the USA team. You can have whoever you want. The best of the best. You can have Gretzky, whoever. But their greatest ability is their availability. I cringe every time I watch a team take an opportunity to sign someone who's injured and they think they're going to get a great deal. Because I think to myself, what if that injury continues to show up again? What if that injury turns into other injuries? What if this investment, it doesn't pay off? And I get sad because, yeah, that team wants to be successful, but I can imagine that that person wants to be successful. That player, that athlete who's dedicated so much time and energy to their craft wants to be successful. Your greatest ability is your availability. And that's true in sports. But that's also true in life, isn't it? Dads, your greatest ability is your availability to be there for your kids. Mom, your greatest ability is your availability to be there for your kids. Just over and over again, the greatest thing you can do is be available. And what I have found in my journey of faith is that my greatest opportunities to grow in my relationship with Jesus have to do with my availability to Him. But if you're like me, maybe you've picked and chosen different places in your life that you'll make available to God. But there'll be other places where you go, no, that's not available yet. That's something we'll get to eventually. We don't need to talk about my finances. We don't need to talk about my sex life. We don't need to talk about how I treat people. We don't need to talk about fill in the blank with whatever space you don't want to work on yet. But at least I'm giving you this. This is available. And Jesus didn't go to the cross for parts of us. He went to the cross for all of us. And so what we're going to talk about today is what would it look like if our greatest thing that we gave to God was complete availability of ourselves. We'll be looking at Ephesians chapter 5, verses 15 through 20. Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand that the Lord's will is. Do not get drunk on wine, which leads to debauchery. Instead, be filled with the Spirit, speaking to one another with psalms, hymns, and songs from the Spirit. Sing and make music from your heart to the Lord, always giving thanks to God the Father for everything in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. In all that we do, can we actively choose to say, God, all of me is available to you, to be formed and transformed, renewed and made new to become more like you? Like this moment in this text where it talks about this idea of not to get drunk on wine. Well, part of the context of that is if you are drunk and you don't have your wits about you, you are not available for what the Spirit might be asking you to do. To never be in a place where God might ask you to do something to impact His kingdom and have to say, no, I can't right now. Would you make sure that work does not get in the way of your availability? Would you make sure that your personal goals and agenda do not get in the way of availability? Would you make sure that your vices do not get in the way of your availability, but instead would in all things, at all times, and in all ways, would you lift yourself up on the altar and say, God, all of me is available to you. Thank you for watching the Daily Devo.